The monsters that live close to you. Hi, Leo Augusta React. Please call me Rufus. It was the end of year holidays, and my sister and I were excited to go to our grandparents' house. We liked spending time there because the old folks were elderly, you know? And we didn't know how much longer they would be with us. So we had a call the night before to talk. They said they prepared an amazing turkey for us, with lots of side dishes. I love to eat, and I was sure I would stuff myself until I couldn't take it anymore. So the next day, my parents took us there. It's about an hour's drive, so we arrived. They had an appointment, so they dropped us off at the entrance. They talked quickly with my grandparents and then left. We hugged the old folks and went to put our bags in the guest room. But we noticed our grandparents were acting a bit different. They weren't as excited as the night before. On the video call, we thought maybe they were just sleepy or something like that. Old folks are always tired, right? So I called my grandpa to play a little dominoes. It was our favorite thing to do, but he didn't want to. So I went to the room with my sister and we started getting things ready for when it's time to sleep, you know? Everything's already set up. We were already hungry, man. I could hardly wait to eat. When we arrived, the two were just standing and staring at us. They told us to sit down and served us some slop, some gross slop of OSHA. Where's that turkey you prepared for us, ma'am? We ate, that's it. Eat, you need to get a little chubbier. You're all skin and bones. And what's this? Food. Eat, boy, and shut up. And they left home. My sister said there was something strange, that they weren't our grandparents. I was scared to death. At first, I thought she was imagining things, but then I started to believe what she said. Watching them through the window, you could see they weren't human. We went out the back door and went to the garage to call our mom. We wanted to go back home, and when we got there, we saw blood on the floor. We asked to go back and explained everything. But they didn't really believe us. They thought we were being too dramatic because they hadn't served something we wanted. When we were leaving the garage, the two of them were standing there waiting for us. Why didn't you eat the food we put out? Go back and eat now. The taste was horrible. It was like a mix of potato and flour, or I don't know, man. When they weren't looking at us, we got rid of that and went to sleep. But we couldn't get any sleep, thinking about what was going on, right? Then they knocked on our door. I didn't open it, so they kept knocking really hard. They didn't even seem like old folks, man. We were cornered, over there in the corner of the room. Then, with a kick, the door flew open. They made us eat more disgusting food. It was 3 in the morning, man. Who wakes people up at 3 in the morning just to make them eat something, man? Around 4 o'clock, I saw their shadows passing through the hallway. We ended up sneaking around and noticed a trail of liquid. We followed them. They went to the garage and were talking. But Leo Augusto React was a language I had never heard before, man. It wasn't English or French. It sounded like something different. They went to a freezer in the garage, opened it, and started eating something from inside. Like animals, you could hear the noises, crunching. Who eats something frozen like that? We ran into the room and locked everything. We put the beds against the door and window and slept on the floor, man. The next morning, I called my mom and said we were feeling sick, vomiting, and had stomach pain. Then our parents came to pick us up. When they asked what we ate, our grandparents said it must have been a sensitivity to the seasoning, so we left. My sister suspects that our grandparents were killed by those creatures that used them, and that they were fattening us up to turn us into food for them. We never went to that house again. I was in my room creating a profile on a social network for myself, so I needed to take a picture to use as my avatar, right? So I turned on the webcam and took it right there. But when I looked at the photo on my laptop, man, there was something strange in the mirror, which was positioned behind me. It looked like the shadow of a child. The photo resolution was kind of bad, so I couldn't see who it was. I got really scared. I gave up on what I was doing and went to check the mirror in the back. That object was really old, and my mom had bought it for me at a thrift store. I said I didn't want that expensive thing, but she insisted. It was already late and my parents were sleeping. I wasn't going to bother them with this story, so I turned it to face the wall and went to sleep. I remember falling asleep quickly, but at some point in the middle of the night I heard a noise in the room. And when I look, I see the mirror turned toward me again. It was dark, but some moonlight was coming into the room, and I could really see that there was a child in the reflection. I jumped out of bed and ran to the living room. I ended up sleeping there that night. The next morning, I talked to my mom about it, and she thought I was joking, man. I wrapped the whole mirror in a sheet and stored it in our locked basement. There, I felt more comfortable sleeping. So I went to finish creating my profile on the social network, took a new picture, and that was it. A few seconds later, a friend request popped up. And when I see who it was, it's the same guy from the mirror, man. How can something like that happen, dude? Looking through his profile, I was shocked. The photos looked like they were from the 1940s. I was trying to get in touch, then I got a notification in the chat. I was scared to read it, so I just left it alone. I showed it to my mom again and she didn't believe it. She thought it was a prank, man. So curious, I ended up opening it to read.
Hi, do you want to be my friend? I saw you sleeping these days. You snore a lot, just like the things on this side when they're hungry.
Who are you? Where did you come from? And why do you watch me when I'm sleeping?
It doesn't matter. I want to play with you. Do you think leaving me in the basement will stop me from visiting you at night?
I told him to leave me alone. I felt at peace and deleted the social media. I made sure that basement was well locked. In the middle of the night, I heard some weird noises. I got up and went to check. Something was messing with the basement door. The doorknob was moving back and forth. It seemed like it was trying to unlock it. This happened about 5 years ago, and to this day I still hear those noises in my house. Man, my mom thinks it's a rat down there, but I know very well who it is. Who's doing this, man? I released episode 2 of Cartoon Cat vs. Siren Head. That fight is still going on, my friends, and we have many other titles at Leo's store over on WhatsApp. Add this number, man, and I'll send you the full list of all Leo's comics. Alright. Merry Christmas to you all and a Happy New Year. We're in this together.